the most mind-blowing paradoxes to fall asleep to the whispering liar, a loop of truth and falsehood. Close your eyes and imagine a soft voice whispering a single sentence. This statement is false. At first, it seems simple, almost playful, like a gentle trick meant to tease the mind. But the moment you try to grasp its meaning, a subtle tension arises. If the statement is true, then it is false, just as it claims. Yet if it is false, it must be true because it correctly asserts its own falsity. This tiny loop creates an endless dance of contradiction, a tug of war between truth and falsehood that your brain cannot fully resolve. As your thoughts follow this loop, your mind begins to slow, tracing the circuit of logic over and over again, noticing patterns but never finding closure. It's paradoxical, yes, but it is also strangely calming, like watching ripples form endlessly on a quiet lake at midnight. The whispering liar is not a problem to solve, but an experience to observe. Let your mind float in the uncertainty, letting each turn of the loop become a soft rhythm. Think of the whisper not as a puzzle to conquer, but as a lullaby of logic, a gentle nudge toward mental relaxation. Imagine the words repeating softly, like a chant. Each repetition, a subtle vibration that moves through your thoughts, slowing the constant chatter of your conscious mind. This paradox invites contemplation without pressure. There is no need to resolve it, only to witness it. As you do, the brain begins to release the habitual drive for answers, and in that release, a small space of calm emerges. Picture the whisper curling around your mind like smoke, twisting and floating, ever elusive yet ever present. The more you try to define it, the more it slips away, leaving behind a sense of wonder, a quiet curiosity. It is in this tension, between knowing and not knowing, that your mind begins to let go. Each cycle of the statement acts as a gentle metronome, slowing thoughts, relaxing muscles, and preparing the nervous system for sleep. Visualize the infinite loop of truth and falsehood stretching out before you like an endless path, inviting your consciousness to walk it without needing to reach an end. In this place, contradictions do not frustrate but soothe, offering a paradoxical comfort in uncertainty. You may notice images or sensations beginning to float at the edges of your awareness, shapes, colors, or feelings, gently encouraged by the unresolved nature of the statement. This paradox becomes a bridge, guiding your mind from wakeful curiosity into the soft haze of rest. Let the whisper carry you, each cycle a lull, each contradiction a gentle sway. The whispering liar teaches acceptance of the unknown, the beauty of unresolved questions, and the serenity of observing without controlling. As you surrender to this dance of truth and falsehood, notice the slow deepening of your breath, the softening of your limbs, the quieting of thought. Here, in this liminal space between certainty and doubt, you are ready to drift. The paradox transforms into a gentle guide, lulling your consciousness toward the calm, inviting the dreams that await beyond the waking world. Embrace the loop, feel it settle around you like a soft blanket, and allow the whispering liar to carry you. The enigmatic barber, who shaves the shaver. Imagine a small, quiet village tucked away in rolling hills, where everyone knows everyone else, and life moves at a gentle, predictable pace. In this village lives a barber, a man of meticulous habits and thoughtful manners, who has a very particular rule. He shaves all those who do not shave themselves, and only those who do not shave themselves. At first, it seems like a simple arrangement, a straightforward division of labor. But then a question creeps in like a shadow at the edge of your mind. Who shaves the barber? If he shaves himself, he breaks the rule and should not shave himself. If he does not shave himself, then he must shave himself according to the rule. Instantly, the mind enters a loop, tracing possibilities that twist back upon themselves endlessly. This is the barber paradox, formulated by the philosopher Bertrand Russell, and it elegantly demonstrates the strange contradictions that can arise from self-reference. As you follow the puzzle, your thoughts begin to slow, caught in the gentle snare of contemplation, where solutions evade you like reflections in water. Visualize the barber in the morning, moving quietly through his day, scissors poised, trying to maintain his careful system, yet trapped in this invisible contradiction. Your mind begins to wander, tracing each path, considering each option, and realizing that none of them resolve neatly. There is a strange, meditative rhythm in this process, a repetition of possibility and impossibility that invites the brain to slow down. Let yourself drift alongside the barber, noticing the infinite loop he navigates, observing without trying to solve it. Each cycle of reasoning acts like a gentle tide, washing over the mind, relaxing it, preparing it for the softer currents of sleep. Picture the village streets stretching endlessly, the barber moving from house to house, never quite reaching a conclusion, yet always performing the familiar motions of his day. In the paradox, there is calm, because the goal is not to resolve the puzzle, but to experience it, to let the logic loop become a soothing rhythm that carries your thoughts gently toward rest. Imagine the gentle echo of each possibility, the way it folds back into itself, like a soft lullaby for the contemplative mind. You may begin to feel your breathing slow, your muscles soften, your thoughts unwinding like threads being released from a spool. The barber paradox becomes more than a puzzle. It transforms into a gentle meditation, a hypnotic exercise that encourages the mind to observe without controlling, to explore without needing answers. Allow the scenario to stretch infinitely before you. Each iteration, a gentle sway that draws your consciousness into a peaceful, contemplative space. Notice the beauty of contradiction, the serenity and unresolved logic, the quiet amusement of a problem that cannot be solved. In this gentle wandering of thought, your mind begins to descend into the hazy, relaxed state that precedes sleep. The barber, the village, the endless loop of reasoning, they all fade into the background as your body and mind align with a rhythm of calm, letting go of tension and expectation. Here, in the soft twilight between wakefulness and dreams, the paradox becomes a companion, guiding you gently into the first waves of restorative rest. Embrace the looping logic, feel it sway and settle around you, and allow the enigmatic barber to shepherd your thoughts into the quiet, deepening calm of night. Zeno's endless steps, racing toward infinity. Close your eyes and imagine a long, straight path stretching endlessly before you, disappearing into a soft haze at the horizon. Along this path, a runner begins to move, determined to reach a finish line that seems just within reach, yet always elusive. This is the essence of Zeno's paradox, a philosophical puzzle that has intrigued minds for thousands of years. Zeno suggested that before the runner can reach the finish line, they must first reach the halfway point. But before reaching the halfway point, they must reach a quarter of the way. And before that, an eighth, and so on, infinitely. No matter how many steps the runner takes, there are always smaller fractions to traverse, and so the journey appears endless, the goal perpetually out of reach. As you picture this, your mind is drawn into the infinite divisions, tracing each step in a gentle, repetitive rhythm. There is no need to solve it, no urgency to reach the end. Rather, it becomes a meditation on movement, distance, and the slow unfolding of thought. Imagine each step as a soft, deliberate pace, each fraction of the journey stretching outward like ripples in calm water. The paradox has a mesmerizing quality, slowing down the mind in a way that encourages contemplation and rest. With every imagined step, notice how your breathing steadies, how the thoughts that once raced begin to align with the slow, infinite rhythm of the path. Zeno's endless steps invite the mind to wander through the infinite, experiencing the gentle tension of possibility and the serenity of unending motion. As your consciousness follows the runner, you may feel a sense of weightlessness, as though you are floating alongside, observing the endless sequence without concern for arrival. The paradox becomes a hypnotic guide, each step a soft nudge toward the calm that precedes sleep. Envision the fractions of distance diminishing into infinitesimal segments, each one gently folding into the next, creating a rhythm of infinity that both intrigues and soothes. There is a strange comfort in realizing that the journey never truly ends, that the mind can wander without the need for conclusion, and that the act of observing is itself enough. Let the infinite divisions echo softly through your thoughts, a rhythmic pattern that slows the relentless chatter of your mind. As the runner continues along the endless path, feel your body relax, each muscle releasing tension, each breath deepening in harmony with the unfolding steps. Zeno's paradox transforms from an abstract puzzle into a gentle, meditative journey, where movement itself is the focus and the mind is free to drift into serenity. The endless steps stretch out like a soft lullaby for thought, each one carrying you closer to the threshold of dreams. In this infinite rhythm, there is calm, there is space, and there is the quiet acceptance that some journeys are meant to continue without end. Allow the soft sway of steps and halves to lull your consciousness. the infinite path guiding your mind gently into the stillness that precedes sleep, leaving behind the urgency of solutions and embracing the quiet comfort of endless exploration. Schrödinger's slumber, the cat that dreams and wakes picture. A quiet room bathed in the soft glow of evening light. A small, curious cat curled up on a windowsill, its breathing slow and rhythmic. Now imagine, just for a moment, that this cat is both awake and asleep at the same time. This is the strange and mesmerizing essence of Schrödinger's cat, a thought experiment in quantum mechanics that blurs the line between reality and imagination. According to the paradox, a cat placed inside a sealed box with a mechanism that may or may not release a toxin exists simultaneously in two states, alive and dead, until the box is opened and the observation collapses the possibilities into one reality. Now relax your mind and transform this thought experiment into a gentle lullaby. Picture the cat, suspended in a timeless moment, simultaneously dreaming and awake, moving softly through a space that is both real and imagined. As you contemplate the cat's dual existence, your thoughts begin to float, expanding and contracting, noticing possibilities without needing to choose one. The paradox becomes a kind of mental hammock, cradling your consciousness between certainty and uncertainty, between action and stillness. Imagine the box not as a trap, but as a cocoon, where all potential states exist in harmony, undisturbed by the pressure to resolve. Each possibility unfurls gently, like the delicate flick of a tail or the soft blink of an eye, inviting your mind to move slowly, rhythmically, through layers of calm. Feel the cat's presence as a soothing companion, a silent observer of your drifting thoughts, teaching the subtle art of letting go of control. Your breathing synchronizes with the imagined pulse of the cat's existence, slow and steady. Each inhale and exhale a gentle reminder of the fluidity of reality. Schrödinger's slumber encourages the mind to float in ambiguity, to rest in the beautiful tension between two states that exist together until noticed. As you imagine the unfolding of the cat's possible experiences, notice how your consciousness begins to soften, how the demands of logic and urgency fade into a gentle haze. The paradox itself becomes a meditation, a guide into the liminal space between wakefulness and sleep, where the mind can wander freely without expectation. Picture the box dissolving into a quiet field of twilight, the cat stretching lazily, neither bound by certainty nor confined by reality, existing in a state of perfect calm. Let the duality of presence and absence, awake and asleep, lead your thoughts into the gentle sway of drowsiness, your mind balancing effortlessly between observation and imagination. In this suspended moment, notice the stillness, the quiet, the soft rhythm of existence that doesn't demand resolution. Schrödinger's slumber transforms a complex scientific puzzle into a soothing journey, allowing your consciousness to explore the infinite possibilities of being, drifting ever closer to the warm, gentle embrace of sleep. Let the cat's paradoxical presence guide your mind through this liminal twilight, leaving behind tension. The ship of shadows, identity through change. Imagine a ship sturdy and proud, sailing through misty waters. Over time, each plank, each rope, each sail is replaced one by one. Eventually, not a single original piece remains, yet the ship continues to sail, looking exactly as it once did. This is the essence of the ship of Theseus, a paradox that explores identity and change. Can the ship still be considered the same ship if every part has been replaced? Now, let this idea drift gently into your mind as a soft, soothing narrative, a meditation rather than a puzzle to solve. Picture the ship gliding quietly through calm seas, each wave caressing its hull, each replacement piece adding to its story without disrupting its journey. Think of yourself as the observer, drifting alongside the ship, feeling the gentle sway and the timeless rhythm of water and wind. The ship of shadows invites contemplation on the nature of continuity, on how change can occur without losing essence. A reminder that transformation is gentle and natural. Imagine the planks being replaced slowly, deliberately, almost as if the ship itself were breathing with the rhythm of life. Each change is seamless, unnoticed by the casual observer, yet it carries the weight of time and experience. Your mind begins to absorb this rhythm, slowing in tandem with the ship's unhurried voyage, drifting into a serene, reflective state. Consider how you, like the ship, undergo subtle shifts throughout life, each experience and memory a replacement plank, shaping your identity, while leaving an intangible core intact. This paradox becomes a gentle lullaby for thought, guiding you to observe transformation without anxiety, to notice impermanence as a natural flow rather than a threat. Picture the mist enveloping the ship, softening its edges, creating an ethereal, dreamlike quality. In this space, the mind can wander freely, embracing the fluidity of existence, where continuity is not in the parts, but in the journey itself. As you watch the ship of shadows glide forward, each ripple in the water mirrors the quiet rhythm of your breath, each gentle sway a nudge toward relaxation. The paradox's beauty lies in its patience, in the understanding that change does not demand resolution, only acceptance and observation. Let the quiet majesty of the ship carry your thoughts into a state of calm reflection, where the mind releases tension and finds comfort in the continuity of experience. Imagine the night sky above, stars twinkling gently, reflecting off the water, casting soft light on the ship's surface, guiding it forward. As you drift deeper into this imagery, feel the ship's journey merge with your own, a slow and steady passage towards serenity, where questions about identity dissolve into quiet contemplation. The ship of shadows becomes more than a paradox. It is a journey of thought, a soft meditation, and an invitation to float in the gentle rhythm of change. Allow the calm of the ship and the endless sea to carry your consciousness, each wave and each replacement piece a subtle nudge into the embrace of restful sleep, leaving behind the need for certainty and welcoming the soothing flow of Achilles and the tortoise, running without moving. Close your eyes and picture a sunlit track stretching into the horizon, soft blades of grass swaying gently along its edges. On this track, imagine Achilles, the swiftest of heroes, ready to race a tortoise. At first, it seems like an easy victory. After all, Achilles is faster by far. Yet the tortoise has a head start, a distance to which Achilles must catch up. As he sprints forward, Zeno's paradox gently whispers in your mind. Before Achilles can reach the tortoise, he must first reach the point where the tortoise began. But by the time he arrives, the tortoise has moved slightly ahead. And before he reaches that new position, the tortoise advances again, and so on, infinitely. Your mind begins to follow this endless subdivision of space, a rhythm of motion that never quite completes. The paradox is not frustrating, it is hypnotic, a soft, meandering rhythm that slows your thoughts as you trace each tiny fraction of the chase. Picture Achilles running, each footfall echoing softly, each step smaller than the last, yet always moving, never arriving. The tortoise glides forward gently, blissfully unaware of the intricate mental loop it has created. This is a journey into the infinite, a meditation on progress, distance, and the quiet beauty of endless motion. Your consciousness begins to align with the rhythm, tracing the infinite steps of Achilles' pursuit, feeling the soft cadence of effort and expectation. Each fractional approach mirrors the slow, steady beat of your own breath, drawing attention inward, calming the restless mind. The paradox allows your imagination to wander freely through the concept of infinite division, without the pressure to solve, simply observing the dance of hero and tortoise as it unfolds in endless succession. Notice how your body responds, muscles relaxing, thoughts slowing, your heartbeat syncing with the subtle, infinite rhythm of pursuit. Achilles' chase becomes a gentle metaphor for life itself. Sometimes the journey matters more than the destination. Sometimes movement alone creates peace. Envision the horizon stretching endlessly, the tortoise always a step ahead, Achilles following with quiet determination. The beauty of the paradox lies not in the conclusion, but in the infinite unfolding, the soft meditation that allows your mind to drift. With each imagined step and each fractional distance, you sink further into contemplation, the problem dissolving into the soothing embrace of thought without end. The story of Achilles and the tortoise invites your consciousness to embrace patience, to marvel at the subtlety of infinite processes, and to find tranquility in unresolved motion. Let this infinite chase echo softly through your awareness, a lullaby of logic that slows racing thoughts, releasing tension and inviting the gentle descent into sleep. Picture the track fading into mist, Achilles and the tortoise becoming mere silhouettes on an endless plain, your mind floating alongside them, weightless and serene. In this infinite dance of motion without a rival, feel the calming rhythm of paradox settle over your consciousness, guiding you effortlessly toward the quiet, restorative calm of night, where dreams can unfold without constraint and the mind finds the paradox of choice. More options, less peace. Imagine standing in front of a vast array of doors, each one promising a unique experience, a different path, a new possibility. The choices stretch endlessly, and with each door, your mind races to weigh the options, to imagine outcomes, to anticipate consequences. This is the essence of the paradox of choice, a concept explored by psychologist Barry Schwartz, where having too many options can lead not to freedom, but to anxiety and indecision. In your mind, try to visualize the gentle weight of this abundance, the soft pull of possibility in every direction. At first, choice seems liberating, exhilarating even, but as you linger, the mind begins to feel the subtle strain of consideration, the quiet tension of evaluating endless alternatives. Let yourself observe this mental pattern without judgment. Imagine gently opening one door, peeking into its scene, then closing it and moving to the next. Each doorway a soft rhythm, each consideration a floating thought. Notice how your mind begins to slow as it traces these possibilities, how the act of exploring rather than deciding begins to release pressure. The paradox becomes a meditation. The more you think about the infinite outcomes, the more you realize that certainty is unnecessary. Picture yourself drifting in a calm space between doors, letting the scenarios appear and fade without needing resolution, like clouds floating gently across a vast sky. With each imagined choice, allow your breathing to soften, your muscles to relax, and your thoughts to float freely, observing without grasping. The mind's tendency to worry about what if begins to ease as you recognize the beauty and possibility itself, in the quiet wonder of imagining paths that may never be taken. Visualize the doors not as obligations, but as gentle invitations, each one a subtle nudge toward exploration rather than decision. Let the soft rhythm of considering without acting lull your mind, creating a tranquil loop where curiosity replaces stress and imagination replaces urgency. In this space, you can feel the paradox's subtle magic. Abundance no longer overwhelms, but becomes a gentle companion, encouraging contemplation, relaxation, and patience. Allow yourself to float in this field of possibilities, noticing the quiet joy of exploring without expectation, letting your awareness expand slowly like a soft tide. The paradox of choice becomes a soothing guide, transforming mental overload into serene observation, teaching that the beauty of options lies not in the outcome, but in the act of perceiving them. As your consciousness drifts from door to door, imagining gentle pathways, the mind begins to release tension, embracing calm and softening the grip of decision-making. Picture the doors slowly fading into the distance, the infinite possibilities dissolving into quiet twilight, leaving behind only a sense of gentle curiosity and calm. In this serene state, the mind is free to wander, to float, to rest. The paradox of choice becomes not a burden, but a lullaby, a gentle invitation to let go, to breathe, and to drift into the soft, restorative embrace of sleep, where the imagination can explore endlessly without pressure. The infinite library. Knowledge that never ends. Close your eyes and imagine a library that stretches endlessly in all directions, rows upon rows of towering shelves disappearing into a gentle, misty horizon. This library contains every possible book, every combination of letters and words, every conceivable story, fact and idea. Some coherent, some nonsensical, all existing simultaneously. This is the infinite library, inspired by the imagination of Jorge Luis Borges, a paradoxical space where knowledge seems limitless, yet ultimately unreachable. As you picture yourself walking among the shelves, each step slows your mind, your thoughts tracing the endless corridors, gliding past books whose contents might never be fully understood. There is a quiet rhythm here, a hypnotic cadence as you move past row after row, each volume whispering possibilities and secrets. Imagine pulling a book from the shelf, flipping its pages, and discovering texts that describe worlds both familiar and utterly strange. Stories that make sense, and others that dissolve into pure abstraction. Your mind absorbs this endless flow of information, not with urgency, but with contemplative calm, observing without needing to retain or comprehend everything. The infinite library becomes a meditation on knowledge itself, a gentle reminder that the pursuit of understanding is an endless journey, not a destination. Picture the warm, soft light filtering through high windows, illuminating dust motes that drift lazily in the air. The quiet hush of the library offering a tranquil sanctuary for wandering thought. Each book you touch, each corridor you explore, is a subtle invitation to slow down, to consider the infinite without pressure, to drift in the rhythm of possibility. As your mind moves through the library, notice how the paradox relaxes your thinking. There is no need to finish a book, no need to grasp every detail, only the soft experience of infinite potential. Imagine the shelves receding into a gentle fog, the books blending into a calming pattern of endless repetition, each volume a soft echo in your mind. This limitless expanse invites curiosity without urgency, allowing your consciousness to float in a space where the boundaries between comprehension and mystery dissolve. Let yourself linger in this endless hall, feeling the gentle sway of infinite knowledge settle around your awareness, quieting the constant chatter of the mind. The infinite library teaches patience, the acceptance of the unknowable, and the serenity of observing without grasping. Imagine running your hands along the spines of books that may contain stories you will never read, facts you will never verify, yet the act of sensing their presence brings a soft, meditative calm. As your consciousness drifts through the corridors, the rhythm of walking, the soft echoes of imagined footsteps, and the gentle weight of infinite ideas slow your breathing. Deepen relaxation and invite the mind into a state of restful wandering. The infinite library is not about mastering knowledge, but embracing the beauty of its unending possibilities. Let its endless shelves and whispering volumes carry your thoughts gently into the quiet, soothing folds of imagination, preparing you for sleep, where the mind can wander freely among endless worlds without the need to arrive. Resting in the gentle the paradox of silence. Words that speak. Too much, close your eyes and imagine a vast, quiet room, empty except for the soft echoes of your own breathing. In this space, silence reigns supreme, yet the very absence of sound carries a weight, a presence that speaks volumes. This is the paradox of silence, where the lack of words can communicate more than words themselves. When someone remains silent, countless possibilities emerge in the mind. What are they thinking, feeling, hiding, or revealing? The silence begins to resonate, filling the mind with imagined narratives, interpretations, and emotions, each one unfolding slowly and softly, like a gentle river meandering through a quiet landscape. As you settle into this mental space, notice how your thoughts naturally begin to slow, drawn into the rhythm of absence, where each imagined story drifts gently, without urgency. The paradox lies in the fact that silence, by not saying anything, conveys endless meaning. Your mind begins to perceive subtle patterns, like vibrations in the air, the quiet hum of unspoken words, and the soft, invisible currents of thought. Imagine the room stretching infinitely, the silence deepening, yet filled with the soft weight of potential communication. Here there is no need to respond, to solve, or to interpret completely, only to observe and drift in the gentle sway of quiet contemplation. Let yourself float within the paradox, noticing how the absence of sound guides your mind into reflection and calm. Each imagined message, a soft pulse that slows the habitual chatter of thought. Picture your thoughts like soft whispers carried along by the stillness, weaving delicate patterns that both intrigue and soothe. The paradox of silence invites your consciousness to embrace ambiguity, to find comfort in the unknown, and to appreciate the subtle power of what is left unsaid. Feel your breathing synchronizing with the rhythm of this unspoken language. Each inhale and exhale, a soft echo of calm that travels gently through your body and mind. Visualize the quiet expanding outward, filling every corner of your awareness, creating a cocoon of serenity where the mind can drift freely. The more you linger in this space, the more the tension of daily thought and decision-making begins to fade, replaced by a soft, contemplative presence. Each imagined unspoken word becomes a note in a gentle lullaby, a cadence that guides you deeper into relaxation. The paradox teaches patience and acceptance, showing that sometimes the most profound messages are carried not by sound, but by their absence, allowing the mind to float without direction or expectation. As your consciousness drifts in the stillness, notice the subtle play between presence and absence, between thought and quiet, and let it become a gentle guide towards sleep. The paradox of silence, in its quiet, contemplative way, transforms into a meditation, a soft, rhythmic journey where the mind learns to observe, release, and settle. Embrace the quiet, feel the invisible conversation flowing through your awareness, and allow this gentle, paradoxical stillness to lull you into the deep, restorative calm of night where thought dissolves, imagination drifts freely, and sleep arrives softly, carrying you into peaceful dreams. The unexpected exam, predicting the unpredictable. Close your eyes and imagine yourself walking down a quiet school corridor, the air heavy with anticipation, yet calm, as if time itself has slowed. Somewhere in the near future, a test awaits, a surprise exam, a concept that seems simple until you realize its paradoxical nature. The exam is meant to be unexpected, yet you know it exists, which makes predicting it almost impossible. This is the unexpected exam paradox, a puzzle that plays with logic, prediction, and expectation. How can something be truly surprising if you know in advance that it will happen? Let your mind wander through this scenario as a gentle exercise, observing the interplay of anticipation and uncertainty. Picture the day unfolding, students moving quietly through classrooms, each carrying a subtle awareness of potential tests, each imagining possible moments when the surprise might arrive. Your mind traces the loops of logic. If you know the exam is coming, can it still be unexpected? And if it is unexpected, does it even exist in the form you imagine? The paradox becomes hypnotic, slowing the pace of thought as you trace each possibility, each timing, each imagined surprise. Visualize yourself wandering through the hallways, observing without concern, letting the tension dissolve into soft curiosity, noticing how the mind creates patterns and expectations that may or may not align with reality. The uncertainty itself becomes a meditation, a rhythm that invites reflection and mental calm. Imagine the teachers preparing the exam quietly, the papers stacked neatly on desks, the entire system moving in a way that is both predictable and unpredictable at once. Your thoughts can float through these scenarios without urgency, allowing the brain to practice observation without resolution. Each imagined scenario folds gently into the next, a soft, endless loop that mirrors the subtle tension and release of the mind preparing to rest. The unexpected exam paradox encourages a surrender to uncertainty, a recognition that not all outcomes can be predicted, and that the act of observation alone can be both engaging and soothing. Picture yourself seated in a quiet classroom, knowing the paradox exists, yet allowing it to become a soft focus for the mind, a gentle puzzle that slows the habitual need to control or anticipate. The room seems to expand, the air softens, and the rhythm of possibility settles like a calm tide, carrying the mind towards stillness. Notice how your thoughts gradually become less concerned with finding an answer, and more immersed in the soft unfolding of potential moments, each one a delicate nudge toward relaxation. The paradox transforms into a meditative tool, a way to practice letting go of certainty while remaining aware, a gentle rehearsal for the mind to rest in ambiguity. Imagine the exam never needing to happen, or happening without consequence, yet the mind enjoying the rhythm of anticipation, like soft waves lapping on a quiet shore. As your consciousness drifts along these subtle rhythms, tension fades, curiosity softens, and a gentle calm settles into your awareness. The unexpected exam becomes not a source of stress, but a soothing companion, guiding the mind into observation, reflection, and ultimately, the tranquil descent into restful sleep, where imagination can wander freely and the gentle paradoxical logic prepares you. The omnipotence puzzle. Can power have limits? Close your eyes and imagine a being of infinite ability, capable of creating, shaping, and controlling every aspect of existence with effortless ease. Now consider a seemingly simple question. Can this being create a rock so heavy that it cannot lift it? If it can, then there is something it cannot do. Lift the rock. If it cannot, then there is something it cannot do. Create the rock. This is the omnipotence puzzle, a paradox that explores the limits of absolute power and invites the mind into a gentle, reflective space. Rather than trying to solve it, allow yourself to drift into the rhythm of thought it evokes. Picture the infinite being as a quiet presence, observing the unfolding possibilities, aware of every potential and impossibility, yet moving without urgency, without need for resolution. The paradox itself becomes a soft meditation, a mental exercise where the mind can float through ideas of power, limitation, and infinity, tracing each possibility without trying to determine a final answer. Imagine the rock in your mind, impossibly heavy, yet existing only as a concept, a thought to explore rather than a physical weight to bear. Feel the mind release the usual need for control, the tension of needing to solve, and instead allow observation to guide your attention. The omnipotence puzzle invites you to consider the subtle beauty of paradox, the way an absolute concept contains its own limitations, not as failure, but as an inherent feature, a gentle reminder of balance and coexistence. Picture infinite landscapes, each shaped by possibilities that stretch beyond comprehension, yet all harmoniously existing, neither demanding resolution nor creating pressure. Allow your awareness to move freely, imagining endless actions, creations, and events, each one gently folding into the next, a rhythmic dance of potentiality and impossibility. As you explore these ideas, notice how your breathing softens, your muscles relax, and your thoughts drift like clouds through a calm sky. The mind, released from the urgency of solution, begins to settle into a reflective, contemplative state, where paradox itself becomes a soothing companion. Imagine the being pausing, considering the rock, considering the impossibility, and resting in the quiet equilibrium between what can and cannot exist. In this stillness, notice how the mind begins to mirror that calm, observing without judgment, exploring without expectation, and releasing tension. The omnipotence puzzle transforms from a logical problem into a meditative tool, a gentle rhythm for the mind to follow, tracing infinite possibilities while remaining comfortably unattached. Allow the concept of power and limitation to blend into a soft awareness, a flowing rhythm of imagination that slowly guides your consciousness towards serenity. Each imagined scenario becomes a subtle nudge toward mental calm, a gentle exploration that relaxes the habitual drive to control and resolves nothing but softens everything. Picture your awareness expanding across infinite possibilities, the soft echo of the rock and the being forming a gentle lullaby of contemplation. In this quiet, reflective space, the mind begins to drift naturally toward rest. Tension dissolves, and the gentle rhythm of paradox carries you into the calm embrace of sleep. The omnipotence puzzle, in its infinite complexity, becomes a soothing meditation, a gentle guide for the mind to release, reflect, and float effortlessly into the restorative world. The grandfather loop, traveling without arrival. Close your eyes and imagine stepping into a quiet forest where the path ahead twists gently, surrounded by trees whose leaves shimmer in the soft glow of twilight. Along this path, you carry a strange device, a time machine capable of sending you backward through moments already lived. You set a goal: to meet your grandfather before he has children, to witness a moment that has already shaped your own existence. Yet here lies the paradox. If you succeed, altering the past would prevent your own existence, which in turn prevents you from traveling back at all. This is the grandfather paradox, a timeless puzzle about causality, time, and the impossibility of certain actions. Instead of trying to solve it, let your imagination float through the paradox, tracing the loops and possibilities as gentle patterns in your mind. Picture yourself stepping softly along the forest path, each step echoing like a soft metronome, each decision branching into countless potential outcomes. The paradox creates a rhythm, a soothing repetition, as your thoughts explore events that can never be fully resolved, allowing the mind to drift freely in observation. Imagine the scene unfolding before you. The forest stretches infinitely, time bending and folding like the gentle curves of a river, each possibility coexisting with the next in a delicate balance. Feel the soft tension of trying and not trying, of acting and refraining, of knowing and not knowing, slowly relaxing your mind as it moves with the rhythm of thought itself. The grandfather loop becomes a meditation on impossibility, teaching the mind to embrace ambiguity and rest in the gentle oscillation between action and consequence. Picture moments repeating, overlapping, folding into each other without end, a mesmerizing flow that both intrigues and calms, each loop a soft lullaby for consciousness. Notice how your breathing aligns with this rhythm, slow and steady, each inhale and exhale tracing the subtle curves of time and possibility, calming both body and mind. The paradox encourages observation without intervention, exploration without urgency, and a gentle release from the need to resolve every question. Imagine your awareness floating above the forest, watching paths and moments intertwine like streams, converging in a serene lake, each loop softening the edges of thought, creating a quiet space for reflection. The grandfather loop is not a problem to solve, but an experience to witness, a rhythmic meditation on cause and effect, presence and absence, existence and impossibility. Let the gentle repetition of potential outcomes carry your mind into a deeper state of calm, where tension dissipates, imagination flows, and the paradox transforms into a soothing guide for rest. In this liminal space between past and present, action and consequence, notice the subtle tranquility that arises when the need for certainty dissolves and the mind drifts freely. Allow the infinite loops to settle around your consciousness like a soft blanket. Each fold of time a gentle reminder that some journeys are meant to be experienced rather than completed. The grandfather loop becomes a companion, a paradoxical lullaby that guides your thoughts gently into the quiet, restorative embrace of sleep, where imagination, possibility, and calm coexist in harmonious balance. The paradox of the heap. How little is too much? Close your eyes and imagine a vast, sunlit field, stretching endlessly into the horizon, filled with tiny grains of golden sand that glimmer softly in the gentle breeze. Begin by noticing a single grain, solitary and unassuming. Now imagine adding another, then another, slowly, deliberately. At what point does this accumulation transform from a mere collection of grains into a recognizable heap? This is the paradox of the heap, or the Sorite's paradox, a puzzle that explores vagueness, thresholds, and the fine line between quantity and identity. Let your mind drift through this imagery as a gentle, meditative journey. Picture each grain of sand as a soft, individual thought, small and unthreatening, yet contributing to a larger pattern over time. As you watch the grains accumulate, notice how your awareness begins to shift, tracing the slow, almost imperceptible changes with curiosity rather than urgency. The paradox invites reflection on the subtlety of transformation. When does a collection become significant? When does change become meaningful? And how do small increments lead to outcomes that seem sudden only in retrospect? Imagine running your fingers lightly through the sand, feeling the texture, observing the gradual growth, and realizing that the process itself is as important as the result. Each grain adds a gentle rhythm to your thoughts, a soft pulse that slows the mind and encourages a contemplative state. Let the accumulation become a metaphor for your own experiences, where subtle, almost invisible changes quietly shape your understanding, awareness, and perspective. The paradox of the heap encourages patience, inviting you to witness change without rushing to define it, to float in the rhythm of small additions that eventually create something larger. Picture the field expanding infinitely, grains shifting softly in the breeze, each tiny movement a reminder of the impermanence and continuity of existence. Notice how this imagery soothes your mind, how the gentle repetition of addition creates a calming cadence, slowing the habitual patterns of thought and inviting a sense of quiet reflection. Imagine the heap taking form gradually, each grain finding its place, forming contours and gentle peaks, yet still part of a soft, flowing whole. The paradox becomes a meditation on perception and awareness, demonstrating that clarity and understanding often emerge slowly, imperceptibly, through accumulation rather than sudden revelation. Feel your breath aligning with the rhythm of the sand. Each inhale and exhale, a subtle nudge toward calm. Each tiny addition to the heap, a soft lullaby for the mind. As you observe this process without concern, the tension in your thoughts melts away, leaving space for relaxed awareness, gentle contemplation, and soft mental wandering. The paradox of the heap transforms from a philosophical puzzle into a soothing exercise for consciousness, a way to practice patience, acceptance, and observation. Imagine the field bathed in a warm golden glow, grains shimmering softly, the gentle accumulation guiding your mind into a state of tranquil calm. Allow this rhythmic, endless process to carry your thoughts into a deeper, reflective space, where the subtle beauty of incremental change lulls you toward restful sleep, leaving behind tension, striving, and the urgency of immediate understanding. In this quiet meditation on small steps and slow transformation, the mind finds peace, the heart finds rhythm, and consciousness drifts gently into the restorative embrace of dreams. The liar's reflection, truth twisted upon itself. Close your eyes and imagine standing in front of a calm, still mirror, its surface reflecting not only your image, but also the subtle layers of your thoughts. Now imagine the mirror speaks a simple phrase, "What I say is false." At first, it seems straightforward, but as you ponder, a paradox unfolds. If the statement is true, then it must be false, and if it is false, then it must be true. This is the liar paradox, a puzzle that twists truth upon itself and invites the mind into a gentle labyrinth of reflection. Let this paradox unfold as a meditation rather than a riddle to solve. Picture the mirror reflecting infinite layers, each reflection a soft echo of possibility, a delicate interplay of affirmation and contradiction. Notice how your thoughts begin to slow, tracing the subtle twists of logic without urgency, following the soft loops of inquiry that expand yet never resolve. Imagine the reflection shifting gently, each iteration revealing a slightly altered version of the statement, a soft ripple of truth and falsehood blending together in quiet symmetry. The paradox becomes a gentle exercise in observing without judgment, a rhythm for the mind that encourages calm and detachment from the need to resolve contradictions. Let your consciousness drift through this hall of mirrored thoughts, feeling the subtle pull of infinite regress, the mesmerizing loop that bends perception and creates a reflective dance of meaning. Each cycle is like a gentle wave washing over your awareness, softening rigid patterns of thought and inviting a slow, reflective calm. Picture your mind moving through the layers as if floating in water, each reflection a subtle nudge guiding attention inward, each contradiction a gentle lull in the rhythm of reasoning. The liar's reflection is not a problem to be solved, but a tool for meditation, offering space to observe thought itself as it unfolds, twists, and circles back. Feel your breathing align with the loops of reflection, each inhale tracing the emergence of a possibility, each exhale letting go of the compulsion to find a definitive answer. Imagine the mirror expanding into infinity, reflections of reflections, creating a soft, hypnotic cascade that calms the mental chatter and invites restful observation. Notice the subtle pleasure in allowing the mind to trace these patterns without expectation, the gentle release that comes from seeing the paradox as a rhythm rather than a challenge. In this space, contradictions do not frustrate but soothe, each unresolved cycle becoming a quiet meditative pulse that slows the habitual pace of thinking. The liar's reflection becomes a lullaby for the mind, a soft and paradoxical guide toward mental stillness, encouraging awareness without tension. As your thoughts drift along these mirrored loops, feel the mind relax, the body soften, and a gentle calm settle into your consciousness. Imagine the reflections gradually fading into a serene twilight, the statement dissolving into quiet space, leaving only the gentle awareness of observation. In this paradoxical mirror, the mind learns to rest amidst uncertainty, to float amidst contradictions, and to embrace the soft, reflective rhythm that precedes sleep. The liar's reflection transforms into a soothing meditation, a gentle journey where truth and falsehood intertwine, calming the mind and guiding consciousness toward the restorative and infinite calm. The paradox of the unexpected gift, surprise within awareness. Close your eyes and imagine receiving a gift, wrapped carefully in delicate paper, the corners perfectly folded, sitting quietly in your hands. You know it is coming, yet you do not know when or what it might contain. The paradox emerges here. If you know a gift will arrive, can it truly be unexpected? And yet, when it does arrive, it holds the potential to surprise, delight, or intrigue you in ways you could not fully anticipate. This is the paradox of the unexpected gift, a gentle meditation on anticipation, awareness, and the nature of surprise. Let your mind explore this scenario slowly, savoring the quiet tension between knowledge and uncertainty, the gentle thrill of potential hidden within the familiar. Picture yourself holding the gift lightly, feeling its weight, imagining what lies beneath the wrapping, noticing how the mind shifts between expectation and curiosity. The paradox softens the usual drive for certainty, encouraging a state of observation where the unknown is not a source of anxiety, but a rhythm of gentle intrigue. Each imagined possibility, whether delightful or mundane, floats through your mind like a feather drifting on a calm breeze, creating a soothing cadence that slows the habitual pace of thought. Visualize the unfolding of the gift as a slow, deliberate process, each layer of wrapping revealing subtle hints yet never fully disclosing the contents, each moment a soft nudge toward mindfulness and presence. The paradox teaches the delicate art of balancing awareness with openness, knowing yet not knowing, expecting yet remaining receptive to the unexpected. Imagine your consciousness moving alongside the unfolding gift, observing without rushing, embracing the gentle tension of possibility, and delighting in the subtle surprise of the unknown. The act of imagining each layer peeling away, each moment of anticipation, creates a rhythmic, almost hypnotic pattern that relaxes the mind, aligning thoughts with the soft cadence of curiosity and observation. Allow your breathing to synchronize with this mental rhythm, each inhale expanding awareness, each exhale releasing tension, guiding you deeper into reflection and calm. Picture the room around you fading into soft twilight, the gift glowing faintly in your hands, and the mind gently attuned to the paradoxical beauty of expectation intertwined with surprise. Notice how the paradox transforms the act of waiting, of receiving, into a soothing meditation, a gentle lullaby of awareness and patience. The more you focus on the interplay of anticipation and surprise, the more your thoughts slow, your muscles soften, and a quiet calm settles over your consciousness. The paradox of the unexpected gift invites the mind to rest in the space between knowing and not knowing, to float in the gentle rhythm of curiosity, and to savor the simple wonder of possibility without urgency. Imagine slowly opening the gift in your mind, layer by layer, moment by moment, without haste, feeling the soft delight and serenity of gentle discovery. As the contents reveal themselves gradually, the mind drifts further into relaxation, tension dissolves, and the gentle rhythm of paradox guides you toward the restorative embrace of sleep. In this serene mental space, awareness, anticipation, and surprise harmonize, creating a soft, meditative lullaby that allows the mind to rest, drift, and dream effortlessly, carried by the subtle magic of unexpected delight. The paradox of time travel. Cause and effect. Reversed. Close your eyes and imagine a quiet room filled with the soft ticking of a clock, each second flowing gently like a river. Now picture stepping into a machine that allows you to travel backward or forward through time, experiencing moments that have already passed or are yet to come. Here arises the paradox. If you change an event in the past, it could alter the future in unpredictable ways. Yet if the future changes, your own actions in the past might also shift. This is the paradox of time travel, a puzzle of cause and effect, where linear sequences dissolve into loops, reversals, and possibilities that defy expectation. Rather than trying to resolve it, allow your mind to drift into this paradox as a soft meditation. Picture yourself stepping gently through moments, observing events as they unfold in multiple directions, neither trying to change nor control, simply noticing the subtle interplay of time. Imagine the threads of cause and effect weaving around you like delicate streams of light, intertwining and folding upon themselves, creating a serene tapestry of infinite possibilities. The paradox becomes a rhythm for the mind, each loop and reversal a gentle pulse that slows racing thoughts and guides awareness into calm observation. Picture yourself witnessing subtle shifts, a dropped cup that shatters in one timeline yet remains intact in another, a smile exchanged in the past rippling into a distant future. Each instance observed without urgency, without expectation. Allow the mind to follow these patterns as if floating on a calm river, moving with the current of possibilities, each twist and turn a meditation on impermanence, causality, and the fluid nature of reality. The paradox of time travel encourages reflection on the interconnectedness of events, the subtle ways actions ripple across time, and the gentle impossibility of absolute control. Visualize the soft glow of moments unfolding in layers, the past, present, and future coexisting like transparent sheets stacked upon each other, each visible, each influencing the other, yet none demanding resolution. Breathe in the quiet complexity of time, each inhale tracing the loops of causality, each exhale releasing the need to control or understand fully, creating a calming, restorative rhythm. The paradox transforms into a gentle tool for meditation, inviting the mind to explore infinite possibilities without tension, to float amidst uncertainty, and to appreciate the soft beauty of the unknown. Imagine drifting effortlessly along these temporal currents, observing without interference, the mind free to follow subtle rhythms and patterns that relax thought and body alike. As you float through these moments, notice the soft interplay of what is and what could be, the gentle merging of timelines, and the quiet serenity that emerges when the pressure to resolve paradox dissolves. The paradox of time travel becomes a lullaby for consciousness, a soft guide for the mind to release control, embrace fluidity, and drift gently toward restful sleep. Let the loops, reversals, and infinite possibilities carry your awareness into calm reflection, the subtle rhythm of cause and effect becoming a soothing cadence that relaxes both thought and body. In this serene meditation, time is not a constraint, but a soft, flowing medium, guiding the mind into the tranquil, restorative space of dreams, where imagination. The paradox of the infinite staircase. Up or down without end, close your eyes and imagine a grand staircase spiraling endlessly upward, each step polished and smooth, bathed in soft, ambient light. As you begin to ascend, the steps continue infinitely, curving gently into the distance, never reaching a final landing. Now imagine the staircase descending as well, another path looping downward forever, each step echoing softly with your movement. This is the paradox of the infinite staircase, a mental exploration of infinity, continuity, and the illusion of progress. Rather than trying to find an endpoint, let your imagination drift through the rhythm of ascending and descending, noticing how each step becomes a gentle pattern for thought. Picture yourself stepping upward, each footfall deliberate, each movement echoing a soft rhythm that aligns with your breathing, drawing attention inward. The paradox is hypnotic, a meditation on motion without destination, progress without completion. Imagine the staircase winding infinitely, each turn revealing another curve, another layer, each step a subtle nudge toward relaxation. Your mind begins to follow the gentle repetition, tracing the endless loops without urgency, without needing to resolve where the stairs lead. Now shift your attention to descending, feeling the soft pull of gravity, the rhythm of movement reversing, yet still endless, still continuous. The paradox teaches patience and presence, allowing consciousness to observe movement without expectation, to experience the journey without fixation on arrival. Imagine your awareness moving fluidly along the stairs, stepping, ascending, descending, feeling the rhythm of infinity guide both thought and body into calm. Each step becomes a soft meditation, a lullaby for attention, slowing habitual mental chatter, encouraging deep reflection and relaxation. Visualize the staircase curving into soft mist, the infinite loops creating a gentle pattern that mesmerizes without pressure, drawing your mind into the quiet contemplation of endless possibility. Notice how your breathing synchronizes with the rhythm of movement, each inhale rising, each exhale falling, harmonizing with the soft cadence of the infinite steps. The paradox of the infinite staircase is not a problem to solve, but an experience to witness, a mental exercise in presence, rhythm, and the beauty of motion itself. Picture the stairs spiraling in multiple dimensions, twisting and turning, yet creating a harmonious flow that calms thought and encourages reflective awareness. Let your consciousness float along this infinite path, noticing the subtle shifts of perspective, the gentle unfolding of endless steps, and the quiet serenity that comes with embracing movement without conclusion. The paradox becomes a lullaby, each imagined step a gentle pulse guiding your mind towards stillness, relaxation, and restorative calm. As your awareness moves endlessly through ascending and descending loops, tension dissolves, curiosity softens, and a gentle peace settles over your consciousness. The infinite staircase transforms from a logical puzzle into a soothing meditation, guiding the mind into the tranquil space between movement and rest, where imagination floats freely and sleep can arrive naturally. The ship of Theseus, identity lost and found. Close your eyes and imagine a grand, ancient ship, resting gently in calm waters, its sails furled and wooden planks glowing softly in the twilight. Over time, each plank, each rope, each nail is replaced one by one until not a single original piece remains. Yet the ship remains floating serenely, bearing the same name, the same purpose, and the same spirit. This is the Ship of Theseus paradox, a philosophical puzzle exploring identity, change, and continuity. Let your mind drift through this scenario as a meditation, observing without needing to solve the question of whether it is the same ship or not. Picture the soft rhythm of waves lapping against the hull, each movement a gentle pulse that aligns with your breathing, slowing thought and inviting calm awareness. Imagine walking along the deck, touching the smooth wood, noting the replacements, and reflecting on the subtle changes that accumulate over time. Each replacement is both loss and renewal, a paradoxical dance of transformation that invites contemplation. As your mind wanders, notice how the ship's identity seems to persist, despite the complete replacement of its parts, creating a gentle tension between permanence and impermanence. The paradox encourages observation without judgment, teaching the mind to embrace change while finding continuity within the flow. Picture the ship drifting slowly through a calm sea, each plank replaced in a soft, rhythmic cadence, the vessel's essence remaining intact amidst impermanent materials. Allow your awareness to trace the subtle patterns of change, noticing how continuity arises not from static components, but from the gentle interplay of structure, function, and perception. The Ship of Theseus becomes a meditation on self and existence, prompting reflection on the fluidity of identity, the impermanence of form, and the constancy of essence. Visualize the soft glow of twilight reflecting on the water, the gentle sway of the ship carrying your mind into a calm, contemplative state. Each movement a lullaby for awareness. As you imagine the replacement of each part, notice the parallel within your own life. Thoughts, experiences, and memories continuously shift, yet a subtle continuity remains, like the ship's enduring presence. Feel your breathing synchronize with the rhythmic flow of transformation. Each inhale, embracing change. Each exhale, releasing tension, guiding your mind towards serenity. The paradox transforms into a gentle exercise, inviting you to observe the dance of impermanence and permanence, allowing awareness to float effortlessly amidst the shifting elements of existence. Picture the ship sailing through calm waters, each plank a testament to continuity and renewal, each gentle wave a soft nudge toward peaceful reflection. Notice how the mind relaxes as it contemplates identity without attachment, flowing with the rhythm of change and finding calm in the persistence of essence. The Ship of Theseus, in its paradoxical beauty, becomes a meditation on life itself, guiding consciousness toward acceptance, awareness, and gentle rest. Let the image of the ship drifting endlessly, carrying both loss and renewal, lull your thoughts into a tranquil state, preparing the mind for restorative sleep, where identity, change, and continuity coexist harmoniously in the serene landscape of dreams. The paradox of the omnipresent observer, seeing everything. Knowing nothing, close your eyes and imagine floating above the world, a presence that can observe every corner, every action, every subtle interaction, yet remains untouched, uninvolved, and fundamentally separate. You witness the intricacies of life unfolding with perfect clarity, people moving through cities, trees swaying in gentle winds, rivers flowing in endless patterns. And yet, despite seeing it all, there is a profound limit to understanding. This is the paradox of the omnipresent observer, where the ability to observe does not guarantee comprehension, and knowledge of everything does not equate to true understanding. Let your mind drift gently into this mental space, noticing the simultaneous clarity and limitation that the paradox offers. Imagine moving effortlessly through landscapes, cities, and forests, observing countless lives, interactions, and patterns, yet feeling no need to interfere, no urgency to act, only the quiet rhythm of awareness. The paradox becomes a meditative exercise, inviting the mind to witness without attachment, to notice without judgment, and to drift freely within the soft cadence of observation. Picture the flow of events like a vast river, each moment a ripple, each action an interplay of cause and effect, and allow your consciousness to float along without the pressure to comprehend fully. The more you drift, the more you recognize the subtle beauty of limitation. Even omniscience is bounded by the impossibility of fully understanding the depth of every experience, feeling, and intention. Imagine the gentle unfolding of human interactions, each a miniature story, and notice how your mind settles into the rhythm of observing patterns without needing to resolve them. This soft awareness cultivates calm, patience, and acceptance, allowing the mind to release tension and rest within the paradox itself. Visualize your consciousness expanding, seeing not only the world, but also the flow of time, the interconnectedness of moments, and the gentle harmony that exists despite the impossibility of total comprehension. Each observation becomes a soft pulse, a gentle reminder that presence is enough, that witnessing without interference fosters serenity. The paradox of the omnipresent observer invites the mind to balance clarity with acceptance, awareness with detachment, and observation with rest. Notice how your breathing slows, aligning with the flow of events, each inhale expanding awareness, each exhale releasing tension, guiding the mind toward deep reflection and calm. Picture the world unfolding endlessly below, every detail observed, yet none fully grasped, and allow the gentle rhythm of this awareness to lull your consciousness into stillness. The paradox transforms into a meditative journey, where seeing everything becomes a gentle practice of letting go, recognizing limits, and embracing the beauty of perspective. As your mind drifts through this vast landscape of perception, tension softens, curiosity blends with tranquility, and a profound sense of calm emerges. The omnipresent observer, in its paradoxical nature, becomes a guide for mental rest, teaching the mind that true serenity arises not from understanding everything, but from observing and releasing. Imagine floating above the world, enveloped in quiet awareness, feeling the rhythm of existence flow through you. And let this gentle paradox carry your thoughts into the restorative embrace of sleep, where observation, acceptance, and calm coexist in harmony. The paradox of choice, freedom, that restricts. Close your eyes and imagine standing in a vast, sunlit market surrounded by countless paths, stalls, and options, each offering something different, each promising a possibility that catches the eye. Every decision seems meaningful, every choice an opportunity for fulfillment, yet the abundance of options creates a quiet tension within the mind. This is the paradox of choice, where freedom to select can paradoxically lead to stress, hesitation, and indecision. Allow your mind to drift gently through this scenario, noticing the interplay of possibility and pressure, abundance and subtle overwhelm. Picture yourself walking slowly through the market, observing the variety of offerings, fruits with delicate colors, trinkets with intricate designs, paths winding into unknown destinations, and yet feeling the soft pull of uncertainty as your mind weighs one option against another. The paradox emerges in the tension between opportunity and limitation, between desire and the impossibility of experiencing everything at once. Imagine each choice as a gentle ripple on a quiet pond, each decision creating a subtle wave that influences the flow of thought, yet never fully resolving the sense of abundance. The paradox of choice becomes a meditation, guiding the mind to observe without judgment, to notice the presence of options without being compelled to act immediately, and to float in the calm awareness of potential. Visualize the market expanding infinitely, each path branching into countless possibilities, each offering a gentle lesson in balance, acceptance, and presence. Allow your awareness to rest on the soft rhythm of decision-making, observing each thought, each preference, and each hesitation as a natural part of consciousness. The paradox invites reflection on the subtle interplay between freedom and restriction, teaching the mind that true serenity does not come from controlling every choice, but from embracing the gentle flow of options without attachment. Picture yourself selecting a path, not out of urgency or pressure, but with mindful observation, feeling each step as a soft pulse that guides awareness inward. Notice how your breathing aligns with this rhythm, each inhale expanding patience, each exhale releasing tension, creating a gentle cadence for mental calm. The paradox of choice transforms from a source of stress into a meditative exercise, encouraging acceptance of limitation within abundance and harmony within uncertainty. Imagine each option softly unfolding in the mind, a quiet dance of potential and subtle restraint, allowing the consciousness to settle into reflection rather than agitation. The more you observe, the more your mind softens, the tension of decision dissolves, and a gentle clarity emerges from the interplay of freedom and restraint. Picture the market bathed in a soft twilight glow, each option becoming less pressing and more a gentle rhythm for contemplation. Let the abundance of choice, paradoxical as it is, guide the mind into calm observation, floating effortlessly between possibilities without urgency. The paradox of choice becomes a gentle lullaby, a meditation on freedom and limitation, guiding the mind toward relaxation, mental clarity, and the soothing preparation for restorative sleep. In this quiet reflection, the mind learns that abundance and serenity can coexist, that freedom can be embraced without tension, and that the gentle rhythm of options can lead to a tranquil, peaceful dream. The paradox of the infinite library. Knowledge without end. Close your eyes and imagine entering a grand library that stretches endlessly in every direction, its shelves towering high, filled with books of every conceivable subject, language, and era. Each book contains knowledge, stories, or wisdom, yet the sheer magnitude of the collection creates a paradox. With infinite knowledge available, no single book, nor even a lifetime of reading, can encompass it all. This is the paradox of the infinite library, a puzzle of limitless information, possibility, and the tension between abundance and comprehension. Allow your mind to drift through the endless corridors, observing row upon row of books, each one glowing softly with potential insight, yet realizing the impossibility of ever reading them all. Picture yourself walking slowly along a shelf, pulling out a book, feeling its weight, turning the pages, and noticing the calm rhythm of discovery without the pressure of completion. The paradox lies in the coexistence of accessibility and limitation. Every piece of knowledge exists, yet the mind cannot grasp it fully, creating a gentle tension that invites reflection and acceptance. Imagine the library stretching beyond the horizon, each aisle a soft echo of infinite possibility, each step a meditation on the vastness of understanding and the subtle humility that arises from recognizing one's limits. Let your awareness move freely, floating from shelf to shelf, observing without judgment, tracing the patterns of knowledge like gentle ripples on a quiet lake. The infinite library encourages the mind to release the need for mastery, to find peace in the act of exploration itself, rather than in the accumulation of total understanding. Picture the soft light of chandeliers reflecting on polished wood, illuminating the titles in a delicate glow, creating a rhythmic visual pattern that relaxes attention and slows thought. Allow your breathing to synchronize with the soft unfolding of possibilities, each inhale tracing the infinite paths of discovery, each exhale releasing the urge to conquer or finish. The paradox transforms into a gentle meditation, where infinite knowledge becomes a lullaby for consciousness, offering both fascination and release. Imagine wandering through sections filled with history, philosophy, art, and science. Each book a soft pulse in the rhythm of thought, each aisle a gentle reminder of curiosity's expansive yet calming nature. Notice how the mind softens as it moves through this infinite space, tension dissolving, curiosity blending with serenity, and awareness settling into a contemplative, peaceful rhythm. The infinite library becomes not a challenge, but a sanctuary, a mental landscape where abundance inspires calm, exploration without urgency, and gentle reflection without the pressure of comprehension. Picture the shelves fading softly into mist at the horizon, the soft echo of turning pages guiding your consciousness deeper into stillness, and the vastness of knowledge transforming into a rhythm that relaxes thought and body alike. Let the infinite library carry your awareness into the quiet embrace of meditation, where curiosity, wonder, and gentle acceptance coexist, preparing the mind for restorative sleep. In this serene mental space, the paradoxical abundance of knowledge becomes a gentle guide, inviting the mind to float freely, rest peacefully, and drift effortlessly into dreams where infinity is experienced as calm. The paradox of the twin paradox. Relative realities. Close your eyes and imagine two siblings, twins born in the same moment, sharing the same life for the first years, yet destined to experience time differently. One remains on Earth, living a calm, steady life, while the other embarks on a journey through space at near-light speed, traveling among the stars, witnessing worlds in motion, and experiencing time at a vastly different rate. This is the twin paradox, a famous illustration from relativity theory where time is relative and the twins age at different rates depending on their motion. Let your mind drift into this scenario as a gentle meditation. Picture the twin traveling through the cosmos, each passing moment stretched and elongated, while the earthbound twin continues in familiar rhythms, each breath and heartbeat echoing in subtle harmony. The paradox invites reflection on perspective, the fluidity of time, and the differences between observation and experience. Imagine the traveling twin watching distant galaxies, feeling the vast silence of space, and noticing how time bends around velocity and distance. Meanwhile, the earthbound twin experiences days and nights, seasons and cycles, in familiar patterns, yet both share a connection that transcends the variations in temporal flow. Allow your awareness to move gently between these two experiences, observing without judgment, tracing the rhythm of relative time, and feeling the gentle tension between simultaneity and difference. The paradox becomes a meditation on perspective and awareness, teaching the mind to appreciate the multiplicity of realities, the beauty of diverse experiences, and the subtle harmony that emerges when differences are observed without the need for resolution. Picture the traveling twin returning to Earth, the paradoxical reunion of different ages and experiences, yet both individuals connected through memory, love, and shared beginnings. Let your mind float through these reflections, noticing how time can feel flexible, how experiences are both shared and uniquely personal, and how awareness can expand to accommodate multiple perspectives. Visualize your own consciousness moving alongside these twins, observing the gentle unfolding of moments in relative harmony, each breath and heartbeat aligning with the rhythmic flow of time's paradoxical nature. The twin paradox transforms from a scientific puzzle into a soft meditation on the impermanence of time, the relativity of experience, and the beauty of connection across differing realities. Imagine each passing moment as a ripple, stretching across the vast cosmos of awareness, each ripple softening thought, slowing mental chatter, and inviting deep relaxation. Notice how the mind begins to settle, each inhale embracing the fluidity of time, each exhale releasing the need to control or measure. The paradox becomes a gentle lullaby, a rhythmic dance of observation and reflection that guides consciousness into calm, reflective awareness. Let the narrative of the twins, their separate journeys, and eventual reunion carry your mind towards serene contemplation, a meditative space where the complexities of reality are observed without urgency. In this quiet, paradoxical space, the mind finds rest, the body softens, and awareness drifts into the gentle rhythm of reflection, preparing for restorative sleep. The twin paradox, in its elegant relativity, becomes a soothing guide, a paradoxical meditation on the nature of time, perspective, and the harmony found within difference. Carry the paradox of the omniscient mind. Knowing, without understanding. Close your eyes and imagine a vast, glowing expanse of consciousness, stretching infinitely in all directions, filled with the sum of all knowledge, memories, and insights that have ever existed or will exist. Within this immense awareness, every fact, every possibility, every action is known simultaneously, yet the paradox emerges. Knowing everything does not necessarily mean understanding everything. This is the paradox of the omniscient mind, a meditation on the difference between possessing information and truly comprehending the meaning, implications, and subtleties of that knowledge. Let your mind drift gently into this concept, observing without the urgency to solve or reconcile it. Picture yourself as the observer within this infinite awareness, seeing patterns, connections, and details unfolding endlessly, yet realizing the depth and richness of context remains beyond complete grasp. Imagine the soft glow of insights radiating like light through a vast neural landscape, each beam a fact, a truth, or a memory, illuminating possibilities while simultaneously reminding you of the limitations inherent in comprehension. The paradox encourages reflection on humility, acceptance, and the serenity that comes from recognizing the boundaries of understanding, even when knowledge seems limitless. Allow your consciousness to float gently through this infinite field, observing patterns, noticing relationships, and tracing the soft rhythms of insight without the need to control or finalize meaning. Each thought, each realization, becomes a gentle ripple that slows mental activity, guiding awareness into a meditative state where curiosity and calm coexist. Visualize the mind expanding and contracting, alternately focusing on intricate details and then zooming out to perceive the vastness of collective knowledge, embracing the tension between specificity and totality with quiet acceptance. The paradox of the omniscient mind is not a puzzle to be solved, but a tool for meditative reflection, encouraging the mind to witness without attachment, to understand the difference between awareness and comprehension, and to find peace amidst infinite complexity. Picture each insight as a soft pulse, a gentle vibration that resonates through consciousness, slowing habitual thought patterns and inviting deep relaxation. Notice how your breathing aligns with the rhythm of awareness, each inhale expanding perception, each exhale releasing tension, and the need for total understanding. Imagine drifting through layers of thought, connecting ideas and seeing patterns, yet simultaneously observing the impossibility of grasping all meanings at once. A subtle reminder that presence and calm matter more than complete comprehension. The paradox transforms into a meditative experience, where infinite knowledge becomes a gentle guide for awareness, teaching patience, observation, and acceptance. Let your mind float in this vast glowing consciousness, feeling the quiet rhythm of awareness, curiosity, and serenity, each moment preparing you for mental rest. In this space, knowing without understanding is not frustrating, but soothing, a gentle meditation on the beauty of observation, the richness of awareness, and the calm that arises from embracing the limits of comprehension. The paradox of the omniscient mind, in its expansive, reflective nature, guides consciousness into a tranquil state, carrying the mind gently toward restorative sleep, where insight, awareness, and calm coexist harmoniously in the serene landscape. The paradox of self-reference. The mind observing itself. Close your eyes and imagine your consciousness gently turning inward, observing itself as if peering into a mirror. You notice thoughts forming, dissolving, and shifting, while simultaneously being aware of the act of observation itself. This is the paradox of self-reference, where the mind attempts to understand itself while simultaneously being the observer and the observed. Let your awareness drift slowly into this reflective space, noticing the interplay of attention and introspection, the gentle loops of thought that fold back upon themselves. Picture your mind as both actor and witness, each thought a soft ripple on the calm surface of consciousness, each act of observation creating subtle waves that expand outward, influencing the next cycle of awareness. The paradox encourages a gentle exploration without judgment, allowing the mind to float amidst the loops of self-reflection, experiencing the rhythm of thought without the pressure to resolve it. Imagine the soft unfolding of awareness, each moment a delicate layer of perception, revealing insights while simultaneously creating new layers of observation. This creates a hypnotic, calming pattern that aligns with your breathing, each inhale expanding consciousness, each exhale releasing tension, inviting deep, meditative focus. Picture thoughts arising like clouds in a serene sky, drifting across the horizon of your mind, while your awareness observes, noting their presence and impermanence without interference or urgency. The mind, in observing itself, becomes both infinite and finite, aware of its limits, yet capable of endless reflection, a gentle paradox that encourages mindfulness, patience, and inner calm. Visualize the loops of self-reference forming a soft spiral, each circuit inviting deeper understanding while simultaneously reminding you of the impossibility of complete mastery over the mind. The paradox of self-reference transforms into a meditative practice, guiding consciousness to witness without attachment, to float in reflection without striving for resolution, and to embrace the soft rhythm of awareness itself. Imagine the gentle unfolding of this inward observation, each cycle slowing thought, softening mental chatter, and allowing your mind to settle into a harmonious state of calm. Notice how the interplay of observing and being observed creates a soothing rhythm, a lullaby for consciousness, gently guiding you toward relaxation. Each layer of self-awareness becomes a gentle pulse, a soft vibration that resonates through your mind, slowing habitual thought patterns and encouraging restorative mental rest. Allow the reflection to continue without end, not as a task but as a gentle rhythm of awareness, letting consciousness float freely, softly, and without tension. Picture your thoughts merging with the soft glow of awareness, each observation a gentle stroke on the canvas of your mind, harmonizing with your breath, your heartbeat, and the subtle rhythm of being. The paradox of self-reference, in its delicate complexity, guides the mind into profound serenity, a space where observation, reflection, and calm coexist effortlessly. Let this gentle awareness carry your consciousness into restorative sleep, where the mind rests, drifts, and dreams, floating effortlessly within the infinite loops of self-reflection. carried by the soft, paradoxical rhythm of observing the paradox of the infinite loop, never-ending cycles. Close your eyes and imagine a gentle circle of light stretching endlessly around you, a soft loop that flows without beginning or end. Each point on the loop leads seamlessly into the next, creating a rhythm that is continuous, unbroken, and infinite. This is the paradox of the infinite loop, where cycles repeat endlessly. Yet each repetition feels both familiar and subtly different, a meditation on continuity, persistence, and the beauty of patterns that never conclude. Let your awareness drift along this loop, noticing how each moment flows naturally into the next, each thought, sensation, and breath merging with the rhythm of the infinite cycle. Imagine stepping lightly onto the loop, your consciousness moving with its gentle cadence, each step a soft pulse guiding attention inward. The paradox invites reflection on the nature of repetition and continuity, the delicate interplay between stability and change, and the soothing effect of a rhythm that never demands resolution. Visualize the loop stretching in all directions, expanding into soft, glowing infinity, creating a landscape where time, thought, and perception flow without interruption, offering the mind a serene pattern in which to rest. Allow each cycle to pass through your awareness like a gentle wave, each repetition both unique and familiar, carrying the mind into calm, reflective observation. The infinite loop teaches that the journey itself, the movement and the rhythm, are more significant than the destination, that serenity arises from embracing cycles rather than resisting them. Picture your breathing aligning with the motion of the loop, each inhale rising with the flow, each exhale descending gently, creating a harmonious cadence that slows mental chatter and encourages deep relaxation. Let your mind drift effortlessly along the continuous path, observing the soft interplay of repetition, noticing the subtle variations, and feeling the gentle comfort of a pattern that repeats without pressure or urgency. Imagine your consciousness expanding and contracting along the loop, tracing curves and spirals, yet never needing to reach an endpoint. Each moment a quiet lullaby for thought and attention. The paradox of the infinite loop transforms repetition into a meditative rhythm, a tool for calm, and a gentle guide for the mind to release tension and embrace the soothing continuity of awareness. Observe how your awareness becomes one with the loop, flowing without resistance, carried by the gentle cadence of endless cycles, each pulse softening thought and body alike. Picture the loop glowing softly, illuminating the subtle patterns of consciousness, revealing the quiet harmony within repetition and the serenity that emerges when the mind releases the need to conclude or resolve. The infinite loop becomes a gentle meditation, a rhythmic guide to stillness, offering the mind a place to rest amidst cycles that never end, where time, thought, and awareness flow harmoniously. As you float within this paradoxical loop, notice how tension melts away, curiosity softens into peaceful observation, and the mind drifts effortlessly toward calm, restorative sleep. The paradox of the infinite loop, in its endless elegance, provides a subtle, soothing rhythm for the mind, a paradoxical lullaby that carries consciousness into dreams, where cycles, continuity, and serenity coexist in gentle harmony, guiding awareness toward effort. The paradox of the omnipotent question, can everything be known? Close your eyes and imagine a soft, infinite space filled with countless stars of knowledge, each one representing a fact, a secret, or a truth. In this vast expanse, a question arises, radiant and impossible to fully grasp. Can everything be known? This is the paradox of the omnipotent question, a gentle meditation on the limits of understanding, the boundaries of inquiry, and the infinite pursuit of knowledge. Let your mind drift slowly into this contemplation, noticing how the very act of questioning both illuminates and conceals, how curiosity opens doors while simultaneously revealing the impossibility of complete comprehension. Picture yourself floating among these stars, each representing an idea, a memory, or an insight, feeling the pull of curiosity while acknowledging the serenity that comes from accepting limitations. The paradox emerges naturally. The more you know, the more you realize the vast expanse that remains unknown. Imagine a gentle rhythm of exploration, where each question leads to another, each answer revealing deeper mysteries, and the mind flows in an endless cycle of wonder and reflection. This infinite pursuit is not frustrating but soothing, like drifting along a calm river, noticing ripples of thought without urgency or pressure. Visualize your awareness moving gracefully through the luminous field, observing connections, recognizing patterns, and understanding that the quest for knowledge itself is a meditation, a gentle exercise in curiosity and presence. The paradox of the omnipotent question encourages the mind to embrace both inquiry and acceptance, to float effortlessly between knowing and not knowing, finding serenity in the space between certainty and mystery. Imagine each question softening into a gentle vibration that resonates through consciousness, slowing habitual thought patterns, calming mental chatter, and inviting profound reflection. Let your breathing align with this rhythm, each inhale expanding curiosity, each exhale releasing the need for absolute answers, creating a tranquil cadence for awareness. Picture the luminous stars of knowledge twinkling softly, each representing an insight or idea, yet none fully revealing the entirety of truth, illustrating the delicate balance between exploration and acceptance. The paradox transforms the pursuit of knowledge into a soothing meditation, where awareness floats freely, curiosity becomes gentle, and the mind drifts into calm observation without tension or frustration. Imagine floating effortlessly through this infinite expanse, each question a soft pulse, each answer a gentle illumination, guiding consciousness toward relaxation, mental clarity, and restorative calm. The paradox of the omnipotent question becomes a lullaby for the mind, a gentle meditation on the beauty of inquiry, the serenity of acceptance, and the harmony that emerges when curiosity and reflection coexist peacefully. Let this soft exploration carry your awareness into a tranquil, restorative state, where questions, insights, and gentle wonder blend seamlessly, preparing the mind for deep, restful sleep. In this serene mental space, the impossibility of knowing everything is not a limitation, but a gentle guide, teaching the mind to float effortlessly within infinite possibility, resting calmly in the soothing rhythm of curiosity, reflection, and peaceful acceptance. The paradox of the self-fulfilling prophecy. Prediction that creates reality. Close your eyes and imagine a soft, quiet world where thoughts and expectations shape the unfolding of events. In this space, a prediction or belief is made, subtle and almost imperceptible, yet it influences actions, choices, and outcomes in ways that confirm its truth. This is the paradox of the self-fulfilling prophecy, a gentle meditation on the interplay between perception, expectation, and reality. Let your mind drift slowly into this idea, noticing how thoughts can ripple outward, shaping experiences, while simultaneously being shaped by them. Picture a person quietly believing they will succeed, their confidence guiding actions, interactions, and decisions, gradually creating conditions that bring about the very outcome anticipated. Conversely, imagine a belief in failure softly influencing hesitation, doubt, and restraint, subtly crafting experiences that align with that expectation. The paradox lies in this circular nature. The prediction shapes reality, and the unfolding reality reinforces the prediction. Allow your awareness to float through these cycles, observing the interplay of thought, expectation, and consequence without needing to intervene or resolve it. Imagine the delicate threads of intention weaving through moments, each thread influencing another, creating a soft, interconnected web of outcomes that gently unfolds in time. The self-fulfilling prophecy invites meditation on the power of awareness and the subtle influence of mindset, teaching the mind to notice patterns of expectation without becoming entangled in them. Picture your own thoughts as gentle ripples in a calm pond, each ripple softly shaping the water's surface, creating echoes of intention that expand outward and return. Let your breath align with this gentle flow, each inhale bringing awareness to the cycle of expectation and reality, each exhale releasing tension and attachment to outcomes. Visualize the serene interplay between perception and manifestation, noticing how reality gently responds to the expectations that shape it, yet also retains space for subtle unpredictability. The paradox becomes a meditative tool, guiding the mind to observe influence without obsession, to notice causality without pressure, and to float in the calm rhythm of life's unfolding patterns. Imagine the soft unfolding of days, each action influenced by thought, each thought subtly influenced by outcomes, forming a rhythmic dance that the mind can observe with tranquility. The self-fulfilling prophecy transforms into a lullaby for awareness, a gentle reminder that thought and perception have power, yet serenity arises from observing this power without grasping or resisting. Picture your consciousness moving along this delicate interplay, noticing the influence of belief, the shaping of reality, and the harmony that emerges when observation, expectation, and acceptance coexist. Allow this gentle rhythm to slow mental chatter, soften habitual thought patterns, and guide attention into a restful, reflective state. The paradox of the self-fulfilling prophecy, in its quiet, elegant complexity, provides a meditative framework for understanding influence, intention, and calm. Let this reflection carry your mind into deep, restorative rest, where awareness, intention, and serenity blend seamlessly, preparing consciousness for peaceful sleep and the soft unfolding of dreams. The paradox of the invisible thread. Connection beyond perception. Close your eyes and imagine a delicate, invisible thread stretching endlessly across space, linking people, places, and moments in ways unseen yet profoundly felt. This is the paradox of the invisible thread, a gentle meditation on connection, influence, and the subtle ties that bind all things, often without our conscious awareness. Picture a soft, luminous filament connecting you to someone far away, or to a moment in the past or future, a quiet, imperceptible line that carries meaning, energy, and resonance across distances. Let your mind drift through this network of threads, noticing the gentle interplay of presence, absence, and subtle influence, feeling the interconnectedness without needing to map or measure it. Imagine the thread shimmering softly with every thought, every feeling, every intention, creating patterns of connection that are invisible yet undeniable. The paradox lies in recognizing the depth and significance of these connections, despite the inability to directly perceive them. As your awareness moves along this invisible web, notice how small acts, fleeting thoughts, or quiet decisions ripple outward along the threads, influencing experiences in ways that are gentle, profound, and often imperceptible. This paradox invites reflection on subtle causality, interdependence, and the delicate balance between action and resonance. Visualize yourself tracing one thread, feeling its gentle pull, noticing the ripple of connections it creates, then allowing your attention to expand, observing the vast network of threads linking consciousness, experience, and environment. Each thread represents potential, influence, and the soft presence of unseen bonds, creating a calming pattern of interconnection that soothes the mind. Let your breathing align with the rhythm of these threads, each inhale drawing awareness along the invisible lines, each exhale releasing tension and the need to control or understand the connections fully. Picture the threads weaving a tapestry of gentle influence, soft patterns of harmony, where presence, attention, and intention coexist fluidly. The paradox of the invisible thread transforms awareness into a meditative practice, inviting the mind to notice connection without attachment, influence without pressure, and presence without expectation. Imagine moving gently through this network, observing the soft interplay of threads, feeling the quiet resonance that binds moments, people, and experiences together, creating a serene sense of belonging within the invisible fabric of reality. Each subtle connection becomes a gentle lullaby, guiding the mind into reflection, calm observation, and restful awareness. Visualize the threads shimmering in soft light, extending infinitely in all directions. A vast, delicate web carrying consciousness towards serenity, understanding, and quiet acceptance. Let your mind float effortlessly among these invisible lines, feeling the gentle rhythm of connection, the harmonious interplay of cause and influence, and the soft unfolding of awareness. The paradox becomes a gentle guide, teaching the mind to embrace subtlety, presence, and interconnectedness, preparing consciousness for restorative sleep. In this serene mental space, the threads of influence, attention, and existence intertwine gracefully, carrying the mind into dreams where connection, harmony, and calm coexist seamlessly, and where the invisible becomes a quiet source of reflection, awareness, and profound relaxation. The paradox of the endless mirror. Reflections. Without origin, close your eyes and imagine standing before a mirror that stretches infinitely in all directions, reflecting reflections of reflections, cascading endlessly into the distance. Each reflection appears real, tangible, and vivid, yet none exists independently. Each depends on the previous, and yet the origin of the first image seems impossible to locate. This is the paradox of the endless mirror, a gentle meditation on perception, origin, and the subtle mysteries of awareness. Let your mind drift into this infinite hall of reflections, noticing the mesmerizing patterns, the layers upon layers of images, and the calm rhythm created by their endless repetition. Imagine moving slowly through this mirrored space, observing yourself and countless iterations, each one slightly different, yet all connected, each reflecting the other in a soft, hypnotic cascade. The paradox emerges from the inability to find the beginning, the point where reflection started, inviting contemplation on the nature of consciousness and self-awareness. Visualize your thoughts as reflections in this endless hall, rippling gently, influencing one another, yet none existing in isolation, a delicate interplay of cause, effect, and perception. The endless mirror invites meditation, encouraging the mind to observe patterns, accept uncertainty, and float within layers of awareness without striving for origin, completion, or resolution. Allow your attention to move with the gentle rhythm of reflection, noticing how each image, thought, or idea leads naturally to another, creating a harmonious flow that slows mental chatter and soothes attention. Imagine the soft glow of light bouncing between mirrored surfaces, illuminating subtle details, creating patterns that are both infinite and calming, a visual lullaby for the mind. Each reflection becomes a gentle pulse, a rhythm for awareness, guiding the mind into deeper observation and serene contemplation. Picture your consciousness gently tracing the layers of images, noticing their interdependence, their soft variations, and the beauty of endless repetition that invites tranquility and mental rest. The paradox of the endless mirror transforms infinite recursion into a meditative tool, a practice in gentle awareness where observation, acceptance, and reflection merge seamlessly. Visualize yourself moving effortlessly through mirrored corridors, each step resonating with calm, each reflection softening thought, guiding consciousness toward restorative relaxation. Notice how the mind begins to let go of the need to find beginnings, endings, or explanations, floating instead in the soothing rhythm of continuous reflection. Each mirror becomes a meditation, each layer of reflection a gentle guide toward inner peace, each cascade a reminder that serenity can exist even in infinite complexity. Let your awareness drift through this endless hall, feeling the subtle interplay of self, perception, and reflection, and notice how mental tension dissolves, curiosity softens, and attention settles into a gentle, calm rhythm. The paradox of the endless mirror, in its infinite elegance, becomes a sanctuary for consciousness, a space where observation, pattern, and calm coexist effortlessly. Allow this soft, paradoxical meditation to carry your mind into deep, restorative sleep, where reflections, awareness, and serenity blend seamlessly, preparing consciousness for dreams that flow endlessly, harmoniously, and peacefully within the boundless. The paradox of the silent city. Presence without sound. Close your eyes and imagine walking through a vast city, its streets wide and empty, its buildings towering in silence. There is life here, yet no sound reaches your ears. The city is alive with movement and energy, yet utterly silent. This is the paradox of the silent city, a meditation on presence, awareness, and the subtle tension between existence and perception. Let your mind drift into this quiet metropolis, noticing the play of light across windows, the gentle sway of trees in empty squares, and the soft rhythm of shadows stretching across pavement. Imagine walking slowly, each step resonating in the stillness, feeling the pulse of the city without hearing a single noise. The paradox lies in recognizing the fullness of life without the auditory signals we typically rely upon. Presence is undeniable, yet sound is absent. Picture distant figures moving gracefully through streets, their forms visible but silent, each action carrying weight and intention that your mind perceives without hearing. Allow your consciousness to flow with the rhythm of movement, noticing patterns, interactions, and subtleties, letting the absence of sound heighten your awareness of detail, texture, and perception. The silent city encourages reflection on observation, mindfulness, and the power of presence without reliance on expected cues. Visualize yourself pausing in the center of a square, sensing the life around you, feeling the gentle energy of the city as it hums quietly beneath the surface, teaching the mind to perceive without conventional input. Let your breath synchronize with the silent pulse of this urban landscape, each inhale drawing in awareness, each exhale releasing tension and the need for external stimulation. Notice the interplay of light and shadow, the subtle movements of architecture and nature, and the calming rhythm of life continuing uninterrupted in silence. The paradox becomes a meditative tool, inviting the mind to float effortlessly in observation, to notice existence without judgment, and to experience presence as its own gentle reward. Picture soft sunlight glinting on glass facades, casting intricate patterns onto cobblestones, each reflection a silent conversation between space, light, and consciousness. Each step you take deepens your immersion in this paradoxical city where sensory expectation meets serene observation and stillness is filled with subtle vitality. The silent city transforms awareness into a quiet, meditative rhythm, guiding the mind into calm reflection, softening thought patterns, and encouraging deep relaxation. Imagine walking along empty boulevards, the gentle sway of trees, the distant shimmer of fountains, and the interplay of architecture and natural light, each element contributing to a sense of serene presence. Let this observation lull your mind into gentle contemplation, releasing the need for explanation, noise, or external input, and allowing awareness to rest in the quiet rhythm of life itself. The paradox of the silent city, in its elegant stillness, becomes a sanctuary for consciousness, a space where perception, presence, and calm coexist harmoniously, guiding the mind into restorative sleep. As your awareness drifts through the city, notice how the absence of sound enhances presence, how subtle movement softens thought, and how the paradoxical rhythm of silence and life carries the mind effortlessly to the paradox of the fading horizon, infinity within reach. Close your eyes and imagine standing on the edge of a vast plain, where the horizon stretches endlessly before you, seemingly unreachable yet always visible. No matter how far you walk, the horizon retreats gently, remaining just out of reach, creating a paradoxical sense of infinity within sight. This is the paradox of the fading horizon, a meditation on aspiration, perception, and the tension between pursuit and realization. Let your mind drift slowly into this expansive landscape, noticing the soft gradient of the sky blending with the earth, the gentle undulations of terrain, and the quiet rhythm of movement as you walk toward the horizon. Imagine each step bringing you closer, yet the line where sky meets land remains elusive, inviting reflection on the nature of effort, progress, and the infinite journey of awareness. The paradox lies in perceiving the infinite as both approachable and unattainable, teaching the mind about balance, acceptance, and the serenity that arises when striving without obsession. Picture the horizon softening in color as sunlight shifts, clouds drifting lazily above, each moment an opportunity to observe without urgency. Allow your awareness to move freely with each step, noticing how expectation and observation interact, how pursuit can coexist with calm, and how the infinite can inspire both curiosity and tranquility. The fading horizon encourages meditation on patience, mindfulness, and the beauty of continuous journeying without fixating on arrival. Visualize your breath syncing with the rhythm of walking, each inhale drawing in spaciousness and awareness, each exhale releasing tension and the desire to reach the unreachable. Imagine gentle winds brushing against your skin, carrying subtle scents of earth and air, each sensation enhancing your immersion in the paradoxical space where infinity feels tangible yet remains elusive. The horizon itself becomes a mirror for consciousness, reflecting the infinite possibilities within thought, perception, and awareness, while reminding the mind that presence and calm matter more than completion or control. Let your attention drift to the delicate patterns of light and shadow across the terrain, the soft sway of distant trees, and the gentle flow of clouds overhead, each element inviting deeper contemplation. The paradox of the fading horizon transforms the pursuit of infinity into a meditative practice, a gentle rhythm of walking, observing, and accepting the beauty of continuous exploration without pressure or urgency. Picture yourself moving steadily forward, each step a soft pulse in the cadence of awareness, noticing subtle variations in the landscape, in the sky, and in your own perception. the infinite horizon becomes a soothing guide, a reminder that journey and observation can coexist in harmony, and that serenity emerges when the mind embraces the paradox of pursuit without desperation. Each step, each moment of mindful attention, draws the mind deeper into calm, reflective observation, softening habitual thought patterns and encouraging profound relaxation. Let the gentle, paradoxical rhythm of the horizon carry your consciousness into restorative rest, where aspiration, perception, and serenity blend seamlessly. The paradox of the fading horizon, in its elegant infinity, provides a meditative space where awareness drifts effortlessly toward deep sleep, where presence, curiosity, and calm coexist, and where the infinite becomes a soothing rhythm guiding the mind toward dreams that are peaceful, expansive, and restorative. The paradox of the vanishing point, reality, that retreats. Close your eyes and imagine standing on a long, straight road that stretches endlessly ahead, narrowing gradually into a single point in the distance. The farther you walk, the closer you feel to the vanishing point, yet it always seems to recede, remaining just beyond your grasp. This is the paradox of the vanishing point, a gentle meditation on perception, perspective, and the fluid nature of reality. Let your mind drift slowly along this road, noticing the soft symmetry of lines converging, the way the landscape frames your path, and the rhythm of motion as your steps carry you forward. Imagine the horizon blending subtly with the vanishing point, creating a seamless gradient where reality feels both near and distant, tangible yet elusive. The paradox arises from the interplay of expectation and observation, illustrating how perspective shapes perception and how reality can seem to shift based on the observer's position. Picture your surroundings stretching infinitely, trees, buildings, and pathways all converging toward the distant point, yet never quite meeting it, inviting reflection on impermanence, perspective, and the gentle unfolding of experience. Allow your awareness to move fluidly with each step, noticing the soft play of light and shadow, the quiet patterns of movement, and the rhythm of your own breath as it aligns with the gentle march toward infinity. The vanishing point encourages meditation on patience, acceptance, and the beauty of pursuing a goal without fixation, teaching the mind to observe rather than chase, to experience rather than conquer. Imagine the soft hum of wind or the faint rustle of leaves, subtle sensations guiding attention inward, while the vanishing point continues to recede, offering a rhythm that calms and centers awareness. Visualize your consciousness floating along the path, gently tracing the convergence of lines, noticing the infinite nature of perspective, and embracing the paradox that reality simultaneously approaches and retreats. The mind becomes a serene observer, witnessing the dance of distance, perception, and expectation, allowing tension and urgency to dissolve into reflective calm. Each step along the road becomes a meditation, each breath a gentle alignment with the soft rhythm of the journey, each observation a lullaby guiding consciousness towards stillness. The paradox of the vanishing point transforms the perception of pursuit into a soothing reflection, showing that the path itself, the experience of motion and awareness, carries significance independent of reaching the destination. Let your mind drift effortlessly through this infinite landscape, noticing the gentle interplay between perspective, distance, and perception, and allowing the paradox to settle as a soft rhythm within consciousness. Picture the vanishing point glowing faintly in the distance, a subtle anchor for awareness, guiding thought without pressure, encouraging serene observation, and inviting deep, restorative relaxation. The paradox becomes a meditation on patience, perspective, and acceptance, teaching the mind to float in the space between pursuit and arrival, between expectation and observation. Allow this gentle awareness to carry your consciousness into deep sleep, where reality, perception, and serenity merge, and where the retreating vanishing point becomes a comforting rhythm guiding the mind into peaceful, restorative dreams. The paradox of the quantum shadow, observing without disturbing. Close your eyes and imagine a delicate, ethereal presence that exists in a realm too small to see, too subtle to feel directly, yet deeply influential on the world around it. This is the paradox of the quantum shadow, a meditation on observation, influence, and the mysterious interplay between awareness and reality. Picture a tiny particle, invisible to the naked eye, behaving unpredictably, yet its motion is subtly altered whenever it is observed, as though the act of noticing itself changes the observed. Let your mind drift gently into this paradox, noticing the soft tension between knowing and influencing, awareness and effect, presence and subtle change. Imagine floating alongside these quantum shadows, observing their patterns without touching, without interfering, each moment revealing the delicate balance of reality and perception. The paradox emerges as a gentle meditation on the limits of understanding. How can one observe without affecting, know without altering, perceive without interference? Allow your awareness to move fluidly with the tiny, invisible motions, noticing the ebb and flow of influence, the subtle dance between observer and observed, and the quiet rhythm that underlies complexity. Picture your consciousness softening as it aligns with this delicate flow, each thought becoming lighter, each breath syncing with the subtle rhythm of observation. The quantum shadow invites reflection on mindfulness, patience, and the gentle awareness that noticing can be powerful even when subtle. Imagine the dance of particles unfolding like soft ripples on water, each interaction delicate, harmonious, and fleeting, guiding consciousness into a state of calm observation and reflective stillness. Let your attention drift across patterns that cannot be fully grasped, yet can be appreciated for their elegance, complexity, and subtle beauty, feeling how curiosity softens into serene awareness. Visualize the quiet influence of observation, how even gentle attention can shape reality, yet without urgency or force, allowing the mind to float freely in contemplation of subtle effect. Each quantum shadow becomes a gentle pulse of insight, a rhythm for the mind that slows habitual thought, softens tension, and encourages restorative reflection. Picture your consciousness as part of this interplay, neither dominating nor passive, moving in harmony with the invisible currents of influence, noticing how calm observation enhances awareness. The paradox of the quantum shadow transforms the act of perception into a meditative practice, teaching the mind to notice without controlling, observe without disrupting, and rest within the balance of effect and awareness. Imagine drifting through this subtle realm, each moment a soft wave of insight, each observation a gentle vibration, guiding attention into serene contemplation and mental rest. Let the paradox guide consciousness into quiet reflection, where the mind is neither overwhelmed nor detached, but simply present, observing the gentle dance of existence and awareness. In this meditative space, noticing without disturbing becomes a lullaby for consciousness, a gentle rhythm that carries thought, attention, and curiosity into peaceful, restorative sleep. The paradox of the quantum shadow, in its quiet elegance, offers the mind a sanctuary of subtle awareness, a space where observation, effect, and calm coexist effortlessly, preparing consciousness for dreams that are profound, serene. The paradox of the eternal return. Cycles of time and life. Close your eyes and imagine a river of time flowing endlessly, looping upon itself, carrying moments, experiences, and events in cycles that never truly end. This is the paradox of the eternal return, a meditation on the recurring nature of existence, where life, events, and patterns seem to repeat across time, yet each recurrence holds subtle variations, new lessons, and gentle transformations. Picture yourself floating along this river, witnessing the repetition of moments that echo familiar experiences while inviting reflection on the interplay of continuity and change. Let your awareness drift into the soft rhythm of cycles, noticing how birth and endings, beginnings and conclusions flow seamlessly into one another, creating a delicate pattern of repetition and renewal. The paradox lies in recognizing both the inevitability of recurrence and the subtle uniqueness within each repetition, teaching the mind to embrace life's cycles with acceptance and curiosity. Imagine observing events from a gentle distance, seeing patterns emerge and dissolve, noticing how history, choices, and intentions ripple across time, influencing future iterations and experiences. Each cycle becomes a meditation, a soft rhythm guiding awareness toward reflection, understanding, and calm. Visualize your breath aligning with the flow of the eternal river, each inhale expanding perception, each exhale releasing attachment to outcomes, allowing the mind to float peacefully with the cycles of life. Notice the interplay of light and shadow along the temporal river, how events and experiences shimmer briefly, fade and return in new forms, creating a serene pattern that encourages observation without urgency or expectation. The eternal return invites contemplation on patience, presence, and the subtle beauty of recurrence, illustrating that even within repetition, growth, insight, and awareness can emerge effortlessly. Picture the gentle pulse of recurring moments as soft waves, guiding consciousness